let's talk about the metric that everybody needs to keep track of, but like nobody keeps track of. And that's our SR, also known as our sign rate. This tells the story of the office. Are your prices right? Do people understand what you're saying in day 1 and day 2? Do people want to go there? Is it desirable? Well, the percentage of people doing it is going to tell that story. It's so simple. Warren, I think I should raise my prices. Well, what's your sign rate? It's 90%. Absolutely, you need to raise your prices. Warren, I want to raise my prices. What's your sign rate? I don't know. Well, then how are we supposed to know if we can raise them or not? I had a call with a chiro the other day. They're crushing it. 85% sign rate. Doing incredible. I think I'm about ready to raise my prices. I think you're absolutely right. Let's finish this quarter out and then see where we're at in that last quarter. And then January 1, we'll go with the new pricing structure. That's how you strategically and statistically run the office. The sign rate is what tells the story. Now, how is the sign rate calculated? It is calculated by the number of starts divided by the number of ROFs, or day 2s. Okay? For example, 7 people started, 10 people were given an ROF. That is 70%. Divide and then multiply times 100. That gives you your percentage. That's how we keep track of that metric. Now, let's create some more room here. Every week, your office manager, if you don't have an office manager, one of the girls up front needs to bring to your team meeting these stats. And that is how many ROFs, how many started, what's the percentage, and then some other stuff. We'll talk, that is in the team meeting video. But you're getting this every single week. So you're seeing what's happening week after week after week. So you can monitor the trends. Week after week after week, we've been at 50%. Had a chiro on the phone, thinks he's killing it. I'm charging this egregious amount for decompression. Really? Why does your collection per visit suck? What's your sign rate? Well, I don't know. Oh, you don't calculate your sign rate? No. Calculate your sign rate. Oh, hey, I calculated it. It was 50%. There's our problem. Okay? Let's show you mathematically what can happen when we get this sign rate correct. All right? Let's take a chiropractor who closed 8 out of 18 ROFs at 105 a visit with decomp. Okay, the epidemic in the chiro offices right now is everybody's greedy and think they can get more for decompression than what they can. Okay, 8 out of 18 is 44%. But Warren, I'm signing. People are doing it. People are paying for it. Some people are prepaying. Of course they are, but only about 40-something%. That's not impressive. It's not what's going to build you $1 million office. All right, that plan is 25/20 at that rate. And so they closed $20,000, $20,160 in care, whether that's prepay or payments. Let me pause and insert something in here right now. If you give your patients an option to pay as you go and they decide to pay as you go, that does not count as a sign. Okay? Because none of those patients, never in the history of chiropractic, in the last 100 years, has any patient ever been presented at 24/24 chiro and decomp plan. They said, oh, I'm going to pay as I go. And they did all 24 and 24 at 3 times a week, then 2, then 1. It's never happened and it never will. The pay-as-you-go people never finish the full 24 visits. Now, on a wellness plan, yeah, of course, that's different. But we're talking on these initial plans. So it does not count. You do not get to count that one. All right, so if there was 2 in here that did pay-as-you-go, you shouldn't even offer that, by the way. That's what desperate chiros do. But if you had 2 that did pay-as-you-go, it would only be 6 out of 18. Okay? 6 actually committed and put their card down and made payments or prepaid. Now, we're going to go with situation number 2. What I recommend. And it's different. I've got some offices that are over this because their sign rate was over 80%. But we go 75 a visit. All right? And this chiro close 14 out of 18, which if you're closing 14 out of 18, you're probably closing 16 or 17 out of 18, all right? But 14 out of 18, which is 78% close rate. What I recommend, the care plan's only $1,800. What do you think the patient thinks when they see that versus this, the $2,500 versus the $1,800? That number's got a 1 in it. I'm way more likely to do that, all right? You could get it up to $1,950 and it still looks, even though it's only $600 cheaper, it looks like $1,000 cheaper. Do you see? Psychology, patient psychology, all right? So we have our $1,800 here, which is actually cheap. It's getting, as inflation's going up, it's getting too cheap. This chiropractor closed $25,200 in care. Just from going down by 20 bucks a visit, assuming their day 1 and day 2 is good, they've now closed way more people and made way more money. But Warren, I thought you were all about seeing less people making more money. I am. And there's a time in practice where this makes sense and you can have this close rate. I'm crushing it. I'm all referral based. I'm seeing too many people. Let's switch it to this. But that's not almost any client. I have 2 or 3 clients that are like that. Most of the clients want this. I want to be closing people and signing people and making money. That's this right here, okay? So we're not afraid to take our prices down. That's not a problem. We're taking it down to the sweet spot. And then we leave it there and we monitor our sign rate. Then what's going to happen is you're going to get really, really good and your sign rate's going to do this. Boop, 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 boop. And then guess what? Your prices need to go up just a hair. 5, 10, 15 bucks a visit. And we constantly do that, so we stay at that threshold, stay at that threshold. So we're constantly growing, and then we build a stable practice. I'm so tired of seeing these practices. This is what the majority of practices are. Oh, we had a really good month. Down, up, down. Oh, we had a really good month. Down, up, down. Instead of, do you want that practice where it's like up and down, or do you want this practice? Really good month, new baseline. Really good month, new baseline. Really good month, new baseline. And you're constantly growing over time with a shifting baseline of collections. Oh, I went from 40,000 to 60,000. Wow, good for you. How many times have you done it? 1. You didn't do shit. You've done nothing impressive. Don't come at me with, oh, we collected 70 grand this month. If you go right back down into your 40, that just means you had some PI checks, you had a bunch of people prepay, it means nothing, all right? Once you've done it for a quarter, you now have a new baseline. Warren, we've collected 70,000 or more for the past 3 months, and previously our highest month was 65. That's impressive because you've now set a new baseline right across here for where your collections are. That's how a chiro office should grow. And it's all controlled with the sign rate, and it has to be gone over every week in the team meeting, and that will almost guarantee consistent growth if your day 1 and day 2 process is correct.